Okay, I'm Maureen Kiley. I am the founder of the South Shore Local Community Directory Program, where we bring businesses together with residents in a community hub. And we gamified it, and we get to put all of these amazing interviews on the community hub and in social media of the businesses that are participating in the directory. And today I have a golf pro instructor. Is that what you would say, or a golf instructor?
Yeah, golf coach. We
golf
call it
coach.
golf coach,
Okay.
golf instructor.
Okay, and this is Brian Burke, and he is going to tell us a little bit about himself, and we're going to talk a little bit about golf and his book and some other things. So, Brian, why don't you just let everybody know that's watching this video who you are, where you're from, your backstory, and how you got into golf.
All right, yeah, I was originally born in Fort Lauderdale, so I'm a original Floridian. That's pretty cool. And then grew up in Brooksville area after, mid high school years, and graduated from there. I was going to go to college for a golf scholarship after playing high school golf, and that's kind of where I got into golf was high school. Played a few tournaments before that, but looked at it, like a partial scholarship at Minnesota, and then I didn't really have the finances to go and really feel comfortable with that. So I went in the military, and I took my golf clubs and I went all over the world. So I was ended up being a Navy diver. So those locations where I was in San Diego and Hawaii were the two duty stations I went back and forth at. Really hard life. So played in some of the most beautiful areas of the world. Like, we went to Australia, got a chance to play there, Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand, Korea, and got to experience all these different golf courses all over the world. And everybody liked playing with me because I was pretty decent, so I'd show them how to hit the ball every once in a while. And then after I, about 2004, I got my certification in one of the organizations to teach golf, and absolutely loved it. Wasn't really getting paid for it until, 2022. I actually took a job at MacDill Air Force Base. And I was asked to take over lessons there because I was working with adaptive golfers. So we're talking paralyzed, stroke survivors, and amputees, and I was showing them how to navigate the golf course. So that was rewarding. And then I went and started taking lessons for
from other
compensation.
people.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
all right.
I've been there 3.5 years, and I've done almost 4,000 lessons. And I've had, I think I just updated my student roster. It's like 780 students so far. It's just been insane. So I've seen the movie a lot, and then I've been able to help people as quick as 5 minutes, which is insane. And then I have other students that just don't really listen too well. They're a little hard-headed, and then all of a sudden 2 years into it, they're like, "Oh, that's what you mean." And I said, "Well, it took you $2,000 to figure that out, but they do get better." So
all right. So where do you live now?
I live in Ruskin, so I'm local to you guys.
Yep. And so what are you doing down in Ruskin now?
Now I actually got asked to consult on an indoor golf simulator in it's called DBAT. So it's a batting training facility that's local, right off of College Avenue in Ruskin. And inside there, the owner had a vision of bringing in a golf simulator. He wanted 4, and then we looked at the feasibility of that, and it didn't look like that would work out very well to keep it enclosed, and the price point would be pretty high. So he did an enclosed room that's temperature controlled and pretty much soundproof, which is really nice because of the aluminum bats the kids hit, and it's piercing noise, if you're anywhere around baseball. So it's a very comfortable environment, and people can work on their game, and they can work on hitting golf balls better. They could actually use the simulator for themselves with friends to go play any course in the world. That's, one of the famous courses like, St. Andrews or the Masters, at Augusta, Georgia, at the Masters. And any course that they really like find that they want, we could look it up and see if it's there and download it. And if it's
Okay.
there, we'll download it. My specialty is really working on people's games, and I take a special approach that's kind of different from other instructors. It's called an incremental learning model, which we haven't really talked about, but I bring somebody in the simulator environment and let them hit balls and see what they have already. And then based on what skill level they're at, we work on building them up to a higher level. Now, some people, they just have some really bad habits. So I sometimes have to almost control alt delete their golf swing, which means we power it all the way down and we start at the lowest level as like, a little chip shot, and then get their fundamentals squared away and then build them back up. And they really appreciate that because, some people can't hit an 8-iron 25 yards. They've never even tried. So it's very interesting when you get folks in there and then they actually can start performing certain things, and they could start using clubs that they never even realized they could use around the greens and for approach shots.
Okay, and this isn't the only thing you're doing in South Shore, right? You're doing some other like on the golf course
Oh,
training,
yes.
right?
Yep. Over at Cypress Creek, I teach over there as well. And that's outdoors, right? So they have a chipping facility, they have a putting facility, and then a driving range. And then, so we could actually, do a hybrid where somebody comes in for a couple lessons and irons things out in a temperature controlled environment. Once they feel comfortable, we could actually go over to the Cypress Creek golf course and up the driving range, and they could hit balls and actually see the results in real time, which would mirror the simulator environment. But
Yeah.
it's always
So
nice to
you have
see it.
Cypress Creek on that simulator?
No, I don't think so. I don't, some of the local courses, it's more famous courses that are
Yeah,
out there
right.
that are on there. So Cypress Creek is nice, but it's not famous yet.
Yeah. Okay. So, one of the things you pointed out to me last time I was talking to you was that when the weather's all kind of crazy,
Mhm.
this is kind of a cool tool for you guys to use to teach and people to go play. So, what do you think is going to happen with that? I mean, do you think a lot of people will be interested in going and, with our rain? We haven't had rain a lot lately, but
Right, it's coming. Yeah, it's
yeah.
coming. Summer, and during the summer months, it's definitely the afternoon sun showers. So in my experience, I've been out to Cypress Creek in like 2, 3, it starts getting, thunderstorms, lightning is a big one, right? We didn't even talk about that. So you're out
Yeah.
there and it's not even raining, and all of a sudden they'll be like, everybody's off the golf course because it's lightning. Well, obviously nobody wants to get killed by lightning. And then so inside that simulator, I have yet to see any lightning. So uh, it's
Or any rain.
or no rain, and then also in the winter months, the snowbirds come down and they think it's, oh, it's so warm in Florida, and then it's all of a sudden it's 40 degrees and they don't even want to hit a golf ball. It's a great location to do that, and also wind. It gets so windy sometimes. We've actually had a bout of that, and so all those outside elements are just negated when you come inside. And I could turn it up as hot as you want. If you want to go 75 and sweat, we could do that too. It's just all based on the client.
Yeah.
So,
So you wrote a book. Tell us
mm,
about the book and why you wrote the book, and this kind of makes you different in
oh yeah,
in
yeah,
regards to instruction.
sure.
So
Yeah. 2020, I actually was asked and, voluntold from my clients to write a book. Like the people I was showing the system to that I had designed when I was playing competitive golf was something some other people might like this or might work on other people, just because it was kind of like a test. And then they were like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. And then so I wrote the book in 2020. I gave some insights of my golfing expertise over the years I've been playing, like 45 years. And then at the end, one of the chapters 8, something like that. So I had some insights till then. I included this system that I designed, and it actually makes me different in that way where, we can actually predict what the distances are on people's short game clubs, which has never really been done before and taught, right? I mean, it's a little bit of like, oh, here you go, you got to hit the ball, and here's your landing area. So I was always taught in high school, like, okay, this is where you need to land it, and then it'll roll out to the hole, like if I was by the green, right? Well, I literally reversed engineered it and said, okay, what does it take for me to hit that spot every time right in that area without me manipulating the club? So I found that there was 3 different endpoints in the golf swing that produce those, and then the golf club itself is different angles, right? So you got your sand wedge, your lob wedge, there's gap wedge, there's pitching wedge, there's 9 irons, 8 irons, something like that, but they all go lower or higher depending on the club. So I was finding like, okay, if I did a what I would call a 101, which would be an endpoint 1 to endpoint 1, it would be past my feet, past my feet. We see it every day on the PGA Tour and the senior PGA Tour and LPGA Tour. Like if you're watching TV and these folks that are watching this hear this and then they go look at that, some Golf Channel footage, they'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Now, nobody ever really put that together that I was ever taught. So then if I went past my feet with a 56 degree, for example, which would be a sand wedge, in classic sense,
Okay.
that ball would go about 7 steps, which would be close to 7 yards. So everything's based in steps that I did. And when I introduce this to people, they go, oh my God, this is the simplest thing ever, because I don't have to do feet conversions. I don't have to do any other conversions except for their steps. So I'm 6'5", and my steps are pretty sizable. And then if I have a lady who's 5'2", her steps are a little shorter. Believe it or not, we'll step side by side to go to her shot, and she'll walk to 8 and I'll be at 7. Or she'll be at 9 and I'll be at 7. And that's what makes it so personal, is that it's her steps, it's his steps,
Yeah.
regardless,
And all of this is in the book.
and it's all in the book, and I've got charts. And what's cool is it's scalable. It goes from beginner, intermediate, and advanced. So if you wanted to get crazy, you could get so advanced with this that you'd be able to be very specific about your landing area with every club in your bag.
And what's the name of your book?
ZoneGolf123,
Oh,
core
okay.
concepts. Mhm.
Okay.
It's really
And I'm going
amazing.
to provide everyone that where this is, a link in
And
the
it's
description of the video.
great to traveling me on here because it's being sold worldwide, but I've only been through word of mouth. Like I've been to Ireland to play, and people over there are buying it. And it comes in 3 different formats. It comes in hard copy, which I really love because it's 6x9. It's small enough to fit in your golf bag. And all these charts are in the back that you can actually say, okay, well, yeah, I got the beginning piece of it. I understand it now. I want to go into intermediate, and I can actually chart my distances with all my clubs that I use around the green.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's all in there. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think people watching this video are going to be intrigued, and they're going to want to get that book, especially if they're really into golf, or maybe they want to learn, because
Yes.
you basically said in there that you have it for each level. So
Yes.
a person could get really good. And
Yep.
okay, so I think that between what you're doing at Cypress and then what you're doing at Pro Sims, I mean, it's pretty cool. I mean, are you still doing a McAdill too? or are
I
you done
am.
with that? You are?
I'm at McDill 3 days a week.
Okay.
And then I'm looking to maybe phase out one of those days as the client base gets higher over at the indoor sim. And it
Yeah.
gets me out of the sun too. I mean, I've been really an advocate for sun protection. I mean, I've got melanoma on my face that got cut out last year, basal cell, squamous cell, and I wear a big brim hat.
Yeah.
Um, and I wear a gaiter and long sleeve protective sleeves. And so it would be good to get out of the sun and save my skin a little bit. No pun intended. But yeah,
Is
I mean,
there a
what
difference in the way you train in the simulator part versus the just outside?
yeah, outside we have to make a lot of modifications for wind, right? So in the simulator, we could actually make wind factored into the calculations of the computer. So say, we want to do something with heavy wind, we could actually change the setting. But usually it's like, okay, if somebody hits a 7-iron and they're hitting at 150 yards, what's great about this, and I get so excited, I've been getting excited about this more and more, is that somebody else hit a 7-iron like 10 times. I have them warm up a little bit and
Yeah.
get loose. But then I'll say, all right, we're going live. You hit 7 shots. And then I click analyze and it puts a big chart on the screen. I could take a photo of it and then they can look at it for future reference. But I go through each line item and say, okay, your landing distance for this club is 145. And so we're looking at it and okay, well, the furthest you got is 160. So let's just use 150 as your number until further discovered, right? If he goes on the course or she goes on the course and finds that they're hitting a little long, they could always modify that chart. So I do get into my phone and I'll make them a yardage chart based on their exact clubs, which is amazing because nobody's ever done this for folks.
Wow.
And then they go out and play and they go, okay, I've got a par 3 and it's 135 yards. And I didn't know what I was supposed to hit before. And then
Oh,
now
you turned your computer, I think.
yeah, I've got, hello,
Hello.
I'm back.
We'll
Yeah.
just cut that out.
Yeah. I got the disruption, it didn't work. It doesn't work. So, anyway, where were we?
Okay, you were just talking about we were talking about the difference between the simulator and the real golf course and factoring wind. And
Yeah.
yeah, so I mean, I think you pretty much covered that in that, but you were saying something about going back out to the golf course.
Oh, when they go back out to the golf course and they're using their 7-iron, and they start realizing they're hitting it a little further, they can modify their distances. And in the simulator, we actually make that's what I was mentioning, is that we can make their distances like a yardage chart, customized for them in real time while they're in the simulator, and they could use that on the course. Obviously, factoring the wind. That wind is a significant thing. And
Yeah.
your viewers might want to know this. And it's amazing and it's super simple to remember. And so if you stand and you face the wind and you feel it in your face, gentle breeze, it would be 1 club more into that wind. If you hear it in your ear, it's 2 clubs. If it's ripping at your clothes, it could be 3 or more clubs. So that means that if somebody's standing and it's 130 yards to the hole, and the wind is so strong it's ripping at your clothes, so that's 140 because it's in your face, 150 because it's in your ear, and then 160. You got to play a shot 30 yards further that you normally would,
Oh, yeah.
And most people never would believe that it's going to affect it that much, but it does. Yeah.
Wow.
So,
Yep.
yeah,
You
we've
got
been
it
out
down
there.
to a science.
It is a little bit of science. So that's great that you mentioned that, because the system that I developed is a little scientific, but it incorporates feel, right? So, some of my clients have said, well, like, how can it be so regimented? And I said, well, it is for what I would classify as a regular swing. And then, so say you had a distance of 50 yards, and you found that your sand wedge goes 55 yards, and then, in training, and then you're like, well, I don't want to hit it 55 yards. So you just go a little softer.
Huh.
And that's the feel piece,
Okay.
which is amazing. Yeah. And then if you had 60 yards, but that club would usually be, then you just hit a little harder, which is, it's not too hard to get used to, but they actually have it documented. They could actually document soft, regular, and firm on their
All
chart,
right.
and they have all those distances. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just to let you know, there's going to be a golf fitness side of this. Maybe Saturdays, between 2 and 4. I can make myself available to anybody who signs up, and we got to figure that out. But I think that a lot of people would get better just from being more flexible and golf strong.
Oh,
So,
that's good. Okay.
because there's a gym right next to the simulator where the softball and baseball, kids work out. Actually have academy there that they do all year round. They have kids homeschooled there.
Nice.
So, yeah, very
Okay.
cool.
All right. Okay, Brian, I really appreciate your time today, and I can't wait for people to watch this video.